Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. So glad you can join me today. We are going to talk about my recent-ish sewing pattern hauls, and I've got some great stuff to show you today. In particular, in the last while, I've kind of moved away from the very popular Big Four, I guess it's called, the Big Four branded patterns. Over here, that means Butterick, McCall's, Vogue, and then Quick Sew we can get access to online, but you don't see it a lot in the shops. And not to mention, shops are few and far in between over here in the city. So I have now ventured a bit more into what you might call indie patterns or independent pattern makers, and I've got some really neat things. I had been looking for very specific shapes or silhouettes or garments for particular purposes, and I'll talk you through all of that in a moment. So that led me down that independent pattern companies and do a bit more exploring in that realm. Now, I was going to be really smart about it and like put up this whole thing on my OneNote so I can scroll through and see the pictures, what I talk to you about the patterns and all of that, but having a little Microsoft Suite problem, my things are not syncing, so I'm going to try my best to not get myself confused as I talk you through the pattern numbers and show you the patterns. I'll just have to put them up in here when I am editing. So this is also your cue to go and grab a snack, a drink, coffee, tea, whatever you're feeling today, and let's talk about some great sewing patterns. I want to kick things off with the Fiber Mood Willa dress. Now, I have been eyeing this dress for quite some time, and I wasn't sure about it. There have been many similar dresses with the wraparound style, but this one just seemed to catch my eye a bit more than the others. Maybe it's the stock photo or the pattern test photo that they had made it up in this gorgeous teal fabric. It is a pull over dress, meaning no zips, no buttons, none of that stuff, which is great for me. And it just has two tie pieces that you can tie around simply, I think, at the front, or you can do like a double wrap around, and it can make the little ties, actually the big ties, quite a bit longer. I think this looks like a really good fancy but not too complicated dress. It's got raglan sleeves, which is great in terms of, I think in terms of fitting and setting in this, putting in the sleeves versus a set in sleeve where you have to kind of like fit it into the armsicle. I much prefer a raglan, and I just really like that detail. You can make this longer, I suppose, but on the model it hits just maybe a few inches below her knees. I might consider making this a little shorter on myself. I'm assuming the model is definitely way taller than I am as per usual, because I'm only about 5'2" rounded up. But I think it's just a really nice, simple, but kind of classy like dress with a twist. If you make it in a fabric that's a little thicker, I'm thinking something along the lines of French terry, which I love, or some kind of sweatshirting. This might be a really nice, cozy, but slightly elevated dress. Okay, let's go to our next one. This is a paper pattern, so I can just hold it up to show you. I picked up the Butterick 6766, which is a pair of jeans. What? Yeah, okay. Hear me out. I go on and on about making pants. No. I go on and on about needing pants because it's cold, really cold. I feel like I'm perpetually freezing. But then I have a hard time finding ready-to-wear pants that fit, which, that I like. But I'm also kind of too afraid to make my own pants beyond elasticated waist. However, I stumbled upon this pattern, which is retro. Let me see. What is your date, little pattern? Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up afterwards. I'm fairly certain by the line drawing and just the whole styling, this is probably an 80s pattern, like 80s, maybe sliding into 90s. I'll put it up somewhere on the screen, let you know. But it is like your classic jean detailing. They're calling these pants, but really I think they kind of look like jeans. They've got the back yoke in a V-shaped yoke. You've got bum pockets, you've got belt loops, you've got, I think, probably a contoured waistband, slant front pockets. You've got that little pocket watch piece, that little teeny tiny rectangle pocket that you always wonder what it's for. I think it's actually for your pocket watch back in the day. It's got a front fly zip and a button. So normally I would just pass on this, but this comes in a proportioned size and it's complete. I think it's factory folded. Is it? I think one piece is cut, everything else looks factory folded. It comes with instructions, the whole deal, and it's got options for people who are the short height, so they're calling it 5'3", and then people who are average height, they're calling it here 5'6", and people who are tall, they're calling it 5'9", you know, give or take. So that really drew me in, because if I were to try and struggle and make some pants, some more like fancier pants, if you will, I cannot imagine trying to then do the fitting at the same time. It's just way too overwhelming of a project. But the fact that this is proportioned already for you, I feel just a smidge more confident trying it out. This won't happen anytime soon, but I always feel like if it is a discontinued vintage or retro pattern, if I have it in my hot little hands, that means it's safe and I can, you know, get on it whenever I feel like getting on it. These are really rare to find proportion pants that are in your particular size. So this is a total score. When am I going to make that? Who knows, but it's in my hands. Okay, what's our next pattern? I've got here, ooh, another pair of pants. Let's just keep talking pants. PAPERCUT Patterns recently had somewhat of a sale, and I think it was a percentage off of their patterns. So I picked up another pattern I've been eyeing for quite some time. These are the Palisade pants. Now they are those ones with the cool like slash origami pocket detailing. So it's got pocket detail. It's got a flat front waistband, which is always nice, makes things look a little neater. And then it's got elastic from about a little bit in from the side and then all the way extending to the back. So the whole back portion is elastic, but it's got a flat front. It's that best of both worlds situation. And again, no fly zips, no buttons, nothing like that. I thought these were neat, partially because of the pockets. The side pockets look so cool. Hopefully you'll get to see a picture here as I'm talking about that. And I think they are, again, hopefully that balance between comfy and casual, but also just easy to make. I am thinking of making this in a slightly heavier fabric. I'm gonna probably do a wearable muslin first, just to test out the fit, because I will need to adjust for height differences. They do have this more of a tapered leg, but I think you can easily alter that into a straight leg. I'm just gonna, you know, do a line and, you know, a string and just swing it out and just make it straighten up that leg line, I think. And fingers crossed, at some point I can make a warmer, slightly thicker version. Here in the product photos, they've done it probably in a cotton linen, and it's got that particular look. But I'm looking for pants I can kind of wear out, because it's cold. It's still going to be cold for another couple of months for sure. Side note, as of the time I'm filming this, in middle of November, we've already had like some snow up in the higher elevations, so just saying. Okay, let's move on to another indie pattern. This is the Chalk and Notch pony tank and dress. Now, this goes back to the idea of needing necessities. I know loads of people are big fans of the Ogden cami, and I feel like that looks better in like a slinky, really satiny, fancy kind of fabric, or, you know, in viscose, something like that, right? Viscose rayon, that kind of thing. But I wanted a tank to go under a lot of my sweaters and just layering for warmth and comfortableness. And I debated between ones that are super slim fitting or ones that are a little bit looser. This one from Chalk and Notch is a V-neck banded, so it's banded in the V. It's banded around the armhole, and it's more of a swing tank. So it's has a bit of that trapeze, you know, swinging out shape on the bottom. I am going to make the crop version because I'm short, and I think the crop version will likely be just the right length for myself. And of course, with tanks, you know, you can really just raise the hemline up or down however you like. They do offer this as a dress version, the pony, tank, and dress. I'm just going to make the tank. I think everything looks pretty good, but in particular, what drew me to this pattern versus others is the fact that they offer cup sizes. Now, I have never done a full bust adjustment. In terms of like regular ready-to-wear clothing and undergarments, I fall into a D cup, but when you're sewing, FBA seem really scary, and I've never done it. I'm just gonna close my eyes and pretend it doesn't exist. Most sewing patterns, I believe, are often drafted for a B cup. I got this with the option thinking if I needed to, you know, size up in cup sizes, the option is already there and drafted for you. So, however, after doing, you know, a bit of math, well, doing the wrong math and then figuring out the right math is I can just make their standard cup size for the pony tank. I will have to report back to you on how that goes. Hopefully it'll be fine. I bought some fabric. Oh, fabric haul coming up after this one. Maybe not back to back, but I'm going to record it separately because I have some fabulous fabrics. Anyways, pony tank, hopefully it will be a staple, and then I am set. Like, I'll have a woven favorite, you know, tank situation, which would be the Auckland cami, and then if I can get this pony tank like sorted in my size and fit, I'll have a knit tank pattern that will be great together. Okay, what is next? Let's see. Ooh, coats, cardigans, coatigan. You know my thing about things that wrap around, like what I'm wearing right now. This is my favorite kind of outfit at home. I've got a t-shirt underneath. I'm wearing the Tabitha tee by Tilly and the Buttons. So It's Simple, that book. Just real simple tee. And then I've got over it, this is a Uniqlo knit, but I've got it like really wrapped around and then tightened with the belt. It's so cozy. It's my favorite type of outfit to wear. So speaking of which, cardigans and wraps and stuff like that are absolutely my jam. Now, I think I have it here. This is Butterick 6029. They're calling it Fast and Easy. They've also got a little thing here that says the cut line, coat to jacket options. Really, it is a pretty much a straight shaped coat that has no fasteners. It has the option for front lapels that swing outwards, so it's almost like a faux waterfall front situation. It's got a bit of a stand-up collar or mandarin collar. It's got cropped sleeves. I'll probably still have to keep cropping the sleeves because, again, this is made for someone who's average height, if you will, so I'll probably take the sleeves up. It's got drop shoulders. It's got patch pockets. At work, pockets are your best friend. I put all kinds of things in my pockets. Anyways, this seems like a really good idea. I love the fact that you have that front detailing. I love the fact, you know, the pockets and all that, but also it's kind of two-layered. It has what looks like a storm flap, but on the front. I don't know if it extends to the back as well. Oh yes, it does. So the whole top half looks like it's layered, and you can cut this as a jacket length, so probably about hip, or you can cut it longer, or you can just leave it quite long. You know, I am a sucker for like the super long coatigans and coats, but this will not be something I would wear solo because it's still just way too cold, but it might be that intermediary piece like underneath my super big stay warm and don't freeze actual waterproof like jacket, coat jacket, parka, and then but over like my regular kind of clothes, like that in between there. I think that'd be really nice. I recently also, speaking of fabric, I keep referring back to this, but the package just came and I'm like so excited about it. I got some merino fleece merino fleece, wool fleece. I think it's just wool fleece, maybe it's not merino. And you can use both sides, like there's no differentiation. So I think that might be really good for this. I'll have to play around and see, but kind of stoked about this. I don't know when I'm gonna make it. It's not a super high priority, but who knows? You never know. Okay, what time are we at? Oh, okay, keep going. I also picked up, scroll past the pants, the coat, tops. Okay, I picked up a vintage top. Vintage, retro, maybe retro. I think this is 70s, definitely by the hairdo and just the way the whole styling looks. This is McCall's 6865, and these sassy ladies are wearing a pull over top that's, I think it's cuffed, button and cuffed. It's got a bit of that ballooning of the sleeve towards the wrist. You can do a few options here, which is what I really like, and the fact that it's a pullover, no fastenings, no front button zips or anything like that. You can do it as a V-neck, kind of a sailor style. You can do it with a notch collar. You can do it with a kind of a built-in scarf that wraps around like a turtleneck, which is quite elegant. You can leave it hanging loose like a peasant style collar thing, or you can tie into that classic pussy bow blouse situation. So there are so many neckline variations with these set of tops. I think the basic, you know, the sleeves, the shirt, the rest of it stays the same. You can just do a couple of different things, actually quite a few things with the neckline, which I think will be really fun and can actually give the same top many different looks, or, you know, so it doesn't seem like you're wearing the same thing all the time. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you want bang for your buck for something like this, getting the neckline variations is, I think that's a really great idea. I haven't looked very closely at this yet. I just wanted to snag it before someone else snagged it, because that's how it works with vintage and retro patterns. Doesn't seem like a terribly hard make if I can tackle the cuffs. I might even change the cuffs and make it into elastic cuffs if I really don't feel like I'm up for trying out, you know, making cuff sleeves and stuff like that. But I'm hoping this will be maybe a good workwear pattern if I ever build up a ready to go to work handmade wardrobe. But that is like far in the future. Nice pattern though. Okay, what else do we have? I've got, ooh, skirt, yes. This, I guess by now the 90s are called retro, right? How many years is it? I think it's certain years to retro and then certain years to vintage. This is a Butterick 5279 classic fast and easy skirt set. Loads of different skirt options here, but I got it for that A-line mini skirt with the side slit. Where and when I'm going to wear this, I'm not 100% sure, but I love the look of the illustration, the model on the front. That really drew me in. You know, she's got that high turtleneck, she's got that leopard print, little A-line mini. Side note, this one is proportioned for petites. Another reason why I picked it up, because I knew all the lines will be done for me. I just pick my line and cut it instead of trying to figure out myself, because someone else did the hard work already. I don't know exactly how many this would be on me after it's been proportioned, but I really like the look. It's got a zipper in the back, it's got a thin waistband, and it seems like a really simple make, but could be really nice to show up some beautiful fabrics like jacquards or sometimes cotton satins, depending on the weight of them, might be really nice, or even wool. This might be really beautiful, like a little wool A-line mini skirt, you know? So I'm thinking about it. I picked it up quite a while ago actually, but the little mini skirt is the one that really caught my attention. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about a silhouette like this. Are you into it? You're not into it? I generally don't wear A-line very often, but that model on the front, the illustration, just completely sold me on this. Okay, quick battery change. Hopefully I'm still more or less in the same spot. Let's talk about my last two patterns, and they are both from Style Arc. Style Arc is not super new to me, but it's my first time purchasing something from them, and they seem to have this really nice monthly thing where if you buy a pattern, you get a choice of a freebie of, you know, one of two choices. So the pattern that I purchased is the Style Arc Harmony top, and then I got a freebie with it, and I chose the Balmain knit. But let's talk about Harmony first. I was so smitten with the sample that they put up. I was looking, what was I looking for? Probably some kind of a workwear-ish top that is not super hard to sew. And the Harmony has these really interesting and very feminine drop flutter sleeve with double tiered ruffles. I guess it's not a flutter sleeve if it's on the arm, is it? Yeah, it's not, it doesn't start here. The ruffles kind of start, you know, down your arm a little bit, but it's double layered, it's super gorgeous, and it should be fairly simple to sew because it just has a back button loop closure. Of course, you can change it into a hook and eye if you would like. There's no zips, nothing like that. It's a pretty simple fit. It's got two bust darts at the side, and I'm really hoping I would not have to do very much in terms of adjustments for like petite sizing. Maybe I'm gonna do, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a wearable muslin from just, you know, not too precious fabric, and just test out the fit. And if it works out okay, I can wear that top around at home or whatever. And then I'll use that to see if I do need to make any adjustments in terms of the bust or raising kind of this top portion. What happens often with patterns, you know, drafted for average height people is that everything just drags a little lower, and it's almost like if I pick it up by the shoulders and just pick it up like an inch or two, everything else falls into place. I'm not sure how that's going to work out yet. I'll just have to make my wearable muslin and see. Now with that, the Harmony top, I picked the Balmain knit as my freebie choice for that month. I can't remember what month this is, but every month they seem to rotate and put out some new freebies with purchase. So the Balmain really kind of drew me in because of the style lines. That seems to be Style Arc's thing. They have more interesting style lines and the way that they put the garment together. So if you love things like top stitching, you can really highlight those style lines. It's meant for a knit. It looks more like a tunic, which is totally fine by me. I love staying cozy, and I think if done in a really nice and interesting fabric, it might be a great cozy but stand out kind of staple. I am not completely won over by the samples that they've posted, but I think there is a lot that can be done with a pattern like this. So these are, I think it's 9 patterns that I recently purchased. Will I sew them all? Who knows, but I am excited to have them in my life. You know, we are also getting close to the end of the year, which means it will almost be time for my new sewing resolutions and kind of looking at what I've done in terms of this year's sewing resolutions. But I gotta say, guys, this year being how crazy it is, how many of you have turned to sewing and did more sewing because of this year's circumstances, or have you actually done less sewing? I want to say I've actually done less sewing. I think. I have to think about that when we do our wrap-up video at the end of the year, but that's what it feels like. I think some people go to sewing to soothe, you know, their nerves and all that stuff and bring them a sense of calm. For me, I need to be in a good mindset to sew, and this year has not been in that mindset at all. I sometimes have to force myself to sit down and focus on sewing. My mind has been so scattered, you know, this year. But I think there will still be some fun things to talk about. Before I leave you though, if you are part of the kittenish behavior pattern swap, I can't wait to see all the videos and posts that have gone up. This is my first year joining that pattern swap. I've heard about it before. I've been following Cian, I think that's her name, for quite some time, but I never really like catch the pattern swaps. This year I've done it. I've submitted my application or like to join in just in time, and I've been paired up with someone who lives way like on the other side of the earth. So I think that's going to be super exciting, and hopefully I'll be able to show you our swap in one of the next videos, definitely before the holidays. All right, I will leave you here and hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Come back soon to see my fabric haul. I'm still waiting on a few pieces to get in, but I can't wait to show you that as well. If you ever want to connect, I am always on Instagram, and I'll leave all of my social media handles and such down below as well. Until next time, have a wonderful day, and I will see you very soon. Bye everybody.